What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Samurai Blackzack. Now, recently, well, it wasn't recently, but last month, or should I say last year, I took a Ancestry DNA test. Sometime around, I want to say November 20th would be at the least. I took the test on November 20th, and I think maybe the second to last week of December, I was able to get my results back. So based on the title, I'm going to show you the results to my DNA test. But before we get started, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and tap that notification bell for more daily content. And here comes my new intro. Any second now. Also, a little word of warning, I might split this video into two parts depending on how much space or how much time I'm going to be able to post this on YouTube. So, the first one is that I'm at the range of 38% to 48% Cameroon, Congo, and Southern Bantus people, which is primarily located in the Angelo, Cameroon, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Malawi, sorry about that, Madagascar, Mozambique, Namibia, Republic of Congo, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Lesotho, South Africa, Switzerland, Switzerland, I don't know what that means, Rwanda, stop, and Burundi. Now, this one would have to be somewhere in the southern parts of Africa. Extending from the heart of Africa, our Cameroon, Congo, Southern Bantus people region runs through the tropical rainforest, humid savanna, and semi-arid desert starting at about 3,000 years ago. That's a pretty long time. The Bantu-speaking people spread from an area around eastern modern-day Cameroon and Nigeria through much of the sub-Saharan African is one of the greatest migrations in human history. Today, the region is home to unrivaled ethnic and linguistic diversity. Pretty good stuff. Next, I am 27% to 29% Benin and Togo, also part of the African region. For years, anthropologists and others looked at African ethnic groups as being mostly solitary and static. However, historians now know the huge empires and kingdoms with administrations and armies, diplomatic corps, and distant trading partners have long been part of Africa's fabric. This is especially true of Western African migrations, conquest, and intermarriage within allied kingdoms would help explain why, for example, 43% of people from our Benin, Togo region have DNA that looks similar to the prophet of our Ivory Coast/Ghana region, and 28% to have links to our profile for Nigeria. Next one, I'm 10%/15% England, Wales, and Northwestern Europe. The history of Britain, the heart of our England and Wales region, is often presented as one group of invaders after another displacing the native population. The Romans, Anglo-Saxons, the Vikings, and Normans all left their mark on Britain both politically and culturally. However, the story of Britain is far more complex. In fact, modern studies suggest the earliest populations were wiped out, but adapt and absorb to the new rivals. That sounds pretty interesting. And so next is the Ivory Coast and Ghana, ranging from 0 to 18%. Now, early in French Portuguese explorers identified sections of Western Africa coast by the area's resources, which is how Cote d'Ivoire, I don't know what that name is. Part of our Ivory Coast and Ghana region got its name. Neighboring Ghana was known as the Gold Coast until it won independence from colonial rule in 1957 and renamed itself after a medieval Western African empire. Today, more than 46 million people live in two countries, depend less on gold and ivory than they do chocolate. Ivory Coast and Ghana produce more than half of the world's cocoa. Sounds pretty interesting. And so once again, we're going from Africa. Did I say Africa? Yeah, this is Africa. From Europe to Africa again. And this time I am 10% Mali, which is primarily located in Mali and Guinea. Mali's modern boundaries were drawn in 1890 when the French Sudan was created and united two very different regions, the Sudanian savannas in the south and the Sahara Desert to the north. These man-made borders make our Mali region a mix of diverse peoples, but geography has always played a key role in Mali's history and people. The savannas at the edge of the desert made the area a natural locus for trans-Saharan trade, which connected West Africa and Europe and Asia in pre-colonial times. For centuries, Mali was a fabled land of gold, scholarships, and empires. Sounds pretty cool, isn't it? And then we're going all the way back to okay, we're going back to Europe again, and I'm 2% Sweden. Primarily located in Sweden, with its rocky coastline, wooded uplands, and subarctic mountainous terrain. Our Sweden region emerged from glacial ice as a rugged land of lakes and islands. The Swedish people share a common Norse heritage, and Norway, especially Denmark, that includes language, religion, and art. They eventually developed a culture of their own, situated north of the Baltic Sea, and geographic isolation from conflicts raging on the European continent did not stop the Swedes from influencing the culture, trade, and politics of region from the Volga River to Basil. Excuse me, I had to sneeze right there. Going back to Africa, I am 9%. Is this true? Well, I'm in the range between 0 to 9% Nigerian, which is located in Nigeria, I believe the west side of Africa. Our Nigerian region includes the most populous country in Africa, with more than 168 million people living in the area, about twice the size of California. Pretty big for a section in the country. Nigeria has 6 cities with populations over 1 million, which the United States only has 9. From its tropical south to the arid north, Nigeria as a country is a concept and product of colonialism, bringing together more than 250 ethnic groups with fairly arbitrary borders. And so last but not least, I am 1% not one country, but two countries, Irish and Scottish. Primarily located in Ireland, Wales, and Scotland, the northwest side of Europe. Located in the eastern North Atlantic Ocean, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales remain linked to Celtic culture, along with a handful of other isolated communities within the British Isles and some of the last holdouts of the ancient Celtic language that were once spoken throughout much of the Western Europe, and through closely tied to Great Britain, both geographically and historically. All three have maintained their unique character through the centuries. Very interesting. So now that we got my blood results, it's time to see the migrations from my ancestors. And the first part was from Virginia and some parts of the southern United States. From Virginia, my ancestors were from Cameroon, Congo, Southern Bantus peoples, Benin, Togo, England, Wales, and Northwestern Europe. Most Virginia and Southern states, African Americans can trace their ancestry back to West Africa, present-day Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Ghana, the Republic of Cameroon, Republic of Congo, Benin, and Togo. Over 100 years, many were enslaved and brought to Virginia to work on tobacco farms. As new lands opened, sugar and cotton planters spread across the South, taking enslaved blacks with them. After the Civil War, many African Americans stayed in the South as farmers and sharecroppers. Later, as agriculture collapsed and segregation became legal, many were part of the Great Migration and headed to the northern cities, looking for jobs and a better life. And finally, the last part will be North Carolina African Americans, who my ancestry comes from Cameroon, Congo, Southern Bantus people, Benin, Togo, England, Wales, and Northwestern Europe. Now, most North Carolina African Americans can trace their ancestry back to excuse the Dutch English. The last one I want to talk to you guys is my North Carolina African Americans migration. Mostly connection from Cameroon, Congo, and Southern Bantus peoples, Benin/Togo, England, Wales, and Northwestern Europe. Over a 200-year period, many were enslaved and brought to North Carolina to work on small farms. After the Civil War, they responded to freedom with vigor, establishing schools and churches. And political winning offices. Many worked as tenant farmers and sharecroppers, hoping to buy their own land, and they were defranchised by new laws at the turn of the century. Some left following rails to the cities like Philadelphia and New York. Others stayed and worked for change, whether by uniting to protest or simply by succeeding despite obstacles. So that does it for this video. I'm Samurai Black Zach. Thank you for taking this time to let me show you my DNA results, and I'll see you in the next video.